What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. It's a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. So, today I'm gonna keep it on the psi abilities camp for another day because I just had Dr. Alex Gomez Marin on the show. I just did a couple of episodes about the power of the brain on Monday. And I will have, and this is for you guys to know, Director Ida Cuellar, who, as many of you know, directed the Secret of Dr. Grinberg, which is the documentary about Dr. Jacobo Grinberg. And Ida is coming to Tijuana. He's arriving on Thursday. We're gonna interview people. We're doing a project together. I can't go into a lot of details, but it is a film because right now we are in the beginning stages. So that's all I can tell you for now. But we're doing an episode here in my studio, Ida and I. So you can expect that on Friday. It is gonna drop on in Spanish on Friday, and then I'm sorry for all the English speakers. I am going to have to drop that one until Monday because Ida and I are traveling to Ensenada to interview some people there, which is near Guadalupe Island. To those who know, you know. Okay, so that's the plan for this week. But given that we're going to keep it in that arena, I wanted to tell you guys about another newspaper cutout that I received from a friend of the show, Javier Marcote from Spain. One of the conferences that took place in that 1985 Costa Rica conference summit about phenomenology came from none other than Andrija Puharich. And one of the pictures that I've been showing you constantly that is part of this thumbnail has Puharich at the far left, Jacques Valleé right next to him. You got John Keel looking at the camera, and you got Jacobo Grinberg on the far right of the image. This picture is presumably from that specific summit. So Javier Marcote found these conferences, and one of them is of Andrija Puharich talking about abilities that we have. That's what he says. So this is, and I stand corrected by one of you, translation of Tribuna da Imprensa from Brazil from November 18, 1985. This is from Andrija Puharich. Here it is. It says, man is capable of producing low-frequency mental vibrations, capable of curing everything from cancer to AIDS, but he can also manipulate others to make them sick, encourage them, or depress them, said American doctor, who is really a parapsychologist, Andrija Puharich. Pioneer in the scientific application of the analysis of the Israeli Uri Geller, who extracts metals with only the vibration of his brain, Puharich participated in the Congress on the Great Mysteries of Man held in San Jose, Costa Rica, organized by the Society of Psychic Research, founded in 1882 in London. This is new information, guys, that well, at least I didn't know about. I'm guessing a lot of you didn't either. Let's continue. Although there is still a lack of a general theory that unifies the entire topic of miraculous cures, Puharich said that his research in North American laboratories indicates that in these cases, the healer produces low-frequency vibrations. These can reach 8 cycles per second and can be cured directly by laying on hands or using substances such as water capable of acquiring this same degree of vibration and maintaining it for up to 2 years. The mechanism with which the healer's vibration affects the patient's matter was explained by Puharich, in some cases as a polarization carried out by the wave and the low frequency in the subatomic particles, reversing their spins, which means directions of rotation. Thus, a triple vibration process that can be applied to cellular information systems, affecting very specific particles of oxyribonucleic acid, DNA, responsible for heredity and reproduction to produce variations beneficial or malignant. With this mechanism, it is possible to produce not only health and disease, but all types of changes in living matter, from levitation to teleportation, from the voluntary germination of a grain to the retrocession of a plant into seed, facts that Puharich claims to have. I witnessed it in person, he said. What? According to experiments carried out by the US Navy, frequencies of 1 to 8 hertz cause healing, Puharich explained, expressing his fear that other types of waves could be used by people or world powers to do evil. We are an open Pandora's box, since manipulation in this sense is very widespread, he said. The American specialist recalled his participation into Entebbe operation, where he blocked, together with Uri Geller, the Ugandan raiders so that the Israelis could enter the country and rescue the passengers of a hijacked plane. On the other hand, it is also possible to bend metals with frequencies between 7 and 8.5 hertz, adding that other frequencies may be those that induce matter to organize to produce life, as well as vibrations that can transmute metals. A vibration of 2.1 hertz can cause cancer in laboratory rats, Puharich said, and this is known by both the Americans and the Soviets, who work intensively on the issue for military purposes. On July 9th, 1967, a blackout occurred in New York, coinciding with a 13 hertz wave bombardment carried out by the Soviets in that area. And we have evidence of this, said Puharich. This type of wave can also cause earthquakes, he added. Additionally, other low frequency waves, part of the experiments by the US and the USSR years ago, caused a mass suicide of dolphins in Japan. Animals were particularly sensitive to certain vibrations. On the other hand, Dr. Puharich claimed that meditation can move subatomic particles, releasing waves close to 7 hertz, capable of causing levitation, as well as so-called out-of-body experiences, ectoplasm, and even time reversal. As in the case of a plant turning back into a seed. Moreover, he continued, vibrations can affect magnetic fields with enough intensity to produce apparent and violent weight changes in a person, as well as facilitate phenomena like walking on hot coals without getting burned. The possibilities of using low frequency waves are unsuspected, as explained in the case of irradiating a corpse with 8 hertz vibrations while photographing it. The discharge will stimulate the memory centers of the DNA and reflect information about the deceased's life, which could be read as if the appropriate technology is developed, something that very few people with paranormal abilities can do. Puharich claimed that all matter, from protons to humans, has intelligence and the capacity for self-organization, which even defies the laws of thermodynamics, According to experts, in the near future, the use of human mental powers will make 90% of the current medical methods unnecessary. This is from 1985, guys. It is a bold statement, I know, but it is very interesting to note what people who were studying parapsychology back then were thinking about this. Another little newspaper cutout from none other than John Keel from this conference as well. John says magic will return by the end of the century. He says, by the end of the century, we're gonna get back to magic that used to be practiced in historic times because it seems that evolution is currently devolving, said yesterday the known journalist John A. Keel at the International Congress 100 Years of Investigation of the Great Mysteries of Man that took place at Irasu Hotel in Costa Rica, San Jose. Keel is one of the leading modern investigators that for many years has been investigating the great mysteries of life in humans, fundamentally those of the UFO phenomenon, which, according to him, are hard to comprehend, but they are also proven and testified over. His surprising deductions make people believe of the existence of man on earth with the capability of perceiving everything we have around us in space. This lecturer, who captivated everybody's attention by the dozens in spectators who were together at one of the halls at Irasu Hotel, indicated that our ears cannot listen to high frequencies, nor can they sense monsters of 8 feet, as in spiders, as the one that is present here now among us. The future is here in some way, John Keel added. Okay, so this is pretty wild because these two were at that conference. I managed to connect that picture to these newspapers cutouts. The previous video that I did on Jacobo's lecture was on the same conference. And I think it's very interesting to note what Andrija Puharich is talking about here, about the frequency fluctuation that can help people heal others. That sounds an awful lot like Pachita, doesn't it? And many shamans who did this kind of work for many generations. But it appears that Andrija Puharich was already like well ahead in the studies of this type of frequencies. And I wonder how much of this is currently being applied in either military purposes or in psychic research from the people who maybe ended Stargate but started something else. I mean, I guess it's possible. But it is, I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Puharich seemed to be way ahead of his time with all of this. And some of this frequency stuff that could be weaponized that Puharich talked about also sounds an awful lot like Havana syndrome, that energy weapon that Dr. Gary Nolan recently talked about, and 60 Minutes as well. So, what do you guys think about this? I think it's a very fascinating find. I want to thank Javier Marcote for giving me this. I think that we could start digging a little bit more into these conferences. And I still have Dr. Jacques Vallée's presentation to talk about, but that's going to be later. I think this was important for this week's events on the channel, so you guys can follow along with this. Do you guys think that Puharich was onto something, or what made him talk about this back in 1985? Those who don't know, Puharich was part of Stargate. He worked hand in hand with Dr. Hal Puthoff and Russell Tark, Dr. Russell Tark, and others though. and he was known as one of the most important American parapsychologists of the time and right now ever, to be honest with you. So, what do you guys think about this? And what do you guys think about John Keel's statements that magic would return by the end of the century? Century's already done. We're 24 years into the next one, and I'm not sure if we could say magic has returned, but I have seen a really strong uptick into more parapsychology research, which is very encouraging if you ask me. And there's also like a major like uptick in brujeria, which is very common, and especially in African and Latin American countries, brujeria is quite common. There are different kinds of it. People believe in it. They pay a lot of money for it, and they also claim that it has an effect on people and it works. What do you guys think about that? Do you think John Keel was onto something and we're watching an uptick in magic? And what do you think about these vibrations and frequencies Andrija Puharich was talking about? Do you think there's something to that too? Should be interesting to see how he thinks that time travel could be possible with a certain frequency. That ties into something that Dr. Pioti has been talking to me about in private. I cannot reveal it now because he's working on something related to that, but that is very interesting, an interesting find, to say the least. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to please hit the like button, subscribe. We're about to hit 10,000 subscribers. We're like 400 short, so please subscribe so we can reach that goal. Share the content in any platform you like, and comment. Please comment. You guys know that I love answering and reading all the comments, so I'm going to ask you to please leave your comments here. What do you think about this? And if you want to support the channel in any other way, I'm going to ask you to please look at all the links in the description. I'm going to add a couple of new ones so you guys can check them out and you can get yourself something, donate for the channel, or get something for the podcast. Every help is always appreciated, and I want to thank you for the support. It really means the world to me. And until the next video, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.